everyone. So I'm going to talk here about the first pitch assignment, and you should go check the assignment info sheet for when this is due, how to turn it in, all the details, that sort of thing. But here I'm going to go over some thoughts about how to do a good job on the assignment. So first is picking the thing. So I'm going to talk about this as a TV show because it's easier, but you can also do a movie series or a book series or something. The first requirement is it has to be something that there's going to be more of plausibly. So, the easiest thing to pick here is a TV show that's in the middle of production or a book series that's not complete yet, and so forth. The idea here is you don't want to have to justify in your pitch why there's going to be more of this thing, right? You want it to be something that is in the middle of a story so it can make sense for you to make changes to it and for there to be new episodes. The other thing is you want to pick something that is about medium in terms of quality of representation. So if you just pick something that's a disaster in terms of representation, you're going to have too much to do. If you pick something that's really, really good, it's going to be hard to find room to improve. So you want something that, has some good things about it, that has a solid basis, but that definitely has plenty of room for improvement. And in terms of the actual thing you're going to pick, in terms of what to improve about it, also don't be over ambitious. Pick a thing or two, a couple of intersecting issues maybe. But you're not. The goal here is not to try and fix everything about the show or to represent everyone at once. It's to increase the representation in a significant way, but not to maximize it and make it perfect. So pick something manageable for the scope of the project. You don't have a massive amount of time, massive number of words for the paper, so make sure you pick something that you can cover in more depth rather than going shallowly over several different issues. So the video is supposed to be aimed at the people making this show. So imagine you are pitching it here to the writer's room. So a couple of things here. You want to be enthusiastic. You want to be selling your idea. You should start with your idea. You don't want to, kind of ramble on like I do before you get to it. You want to start with the thing you want to say. And you can assume in the video that the people you're talking to, the fictional people, already know the basics of the show, who the characters are. So you don't have to explain all of that. You're trying to explain what you're going to change about the show and why that's a good thing. In particular here, think about what is already good about the show and how you're going to use what's good about the show and build on it, right? You don't want to be, trying to tell people that their show is bad. Instead, you want to tell them what its strengths are and how to make those better. And in general, when you're increasing the amount of representation, increasing the quality of something in this aspect, building on what already works is going to keep the audience, is going to make sense within the flow of the show, is going to make it feel more organic rather than trying to do something different that the show is completely, new to it, that it doesn't really, deal with. So, if you're doing a comedy, for example, don't pitch some massively dramatic and, hardcore plot, because that's going to be, a real rupture from where the show has gone, right? Pick something that's going to fit within the flow of a sitcom, within the comedy of the show, and so forth. That sort of idea. And then the paper is pitched at us, is aimed at, we're the target audience, the people in this class. So by contrast here, you should not assume that we know much about the show. Don't spend too much of the paper, going over the details of the show, but tell us the important things that we need to know to make sense of your idea. And also, you can explore some of the difficulties here in the paper. So talk about some of the pitfalls there might be, some of the worries that you have, some of the things you think, might not be great about this idea or that might go wrong, or, and also some of the strengths as well, but you can kind of explore it in a more complex way that's less about selling it to an audience and more about demonstrating that you've really thought about it. And the final big piece of advice I have for this assignment is don't replicate too much between the two. So there's going to necessarily be a little bit of overlap. But, if your paper contains a lot of the same information as the video, you're not using your time wisely. You should be, roughly trying to think about. So one thing to think about is to, plan them kind of both together. Think about all the things you want to say, and then, decide which ideas you're going to put in the video, which ideas fit there, which ideas you're going to fit in the paper, which are a better fit there. So you're making sure you're not doubling up. And I guess because I have one more piece of advice, which, this is supposed to be a fun assignment. I know it's something new that probably a lot of folks haven't done, but do your best, have fun with it, pick a show that you like, that you want to think about, and I look forward to seeing them all. Thanks.